Please subscribe.
You may discount the Volvo S60 as another gear tooth in the quelled Swedish machine. Consider it a duplicate of the S90 with XC60 and XC90 powertrain alternatives in the event that you like, yet in truth, it's substantially more than that. The Volvo S60 is a finished bundle. It's the perfection of Volvo's best components wrapped up flawlessly. Contrasted with the last HS60, this one offers additional gear, better tech, colossally enhanced styling, and even an execution choice. Not that the old S60 Polestar wasn't charming or anything. Between the beautiful perspectives of the Santa Monica Drift, where our drive began, and the smooth lines of the S60, there was no lack of gorgeous sight in plain view. The S60 wears the Volvo structure dialect astoundingly well. It's the best utilization of the family styling to date, more so than the S90, even, and puts the Swede without any help at the highest point of its class outwardly. The Polestar engineered model is the most dazzling of the bundle. It turns the styling dial up and indent with dark trim pieces on the flame broiled rather than chrome, trim select 20-inch wheels, and extravagant gold brakes. Be that as it may, the R design isn't a long ways behind outwardly. It also loses a huge amount of chrome instead of dark accents, and rides on one-of-a-kind 19-inch 5-talked wheels. Both of these models stink of execution superficially. The S60 R design wears its sports car lace freely. It has no inconvenience on the tight turns of Los Padres National Forest, fortunately skimming through corners as opposed to cutting them, yet feels more at home cruising the drift. The new two-fold wishbone pivot in advance and the essential connection in the back give it a firm however adaptable ride, and the expansion of all-wheel drive guarantees huge amounts of grasp, notwithstanding when forcefully pushed. Power from the turbocharged and supercharged 4-chamber T6 motor arrives intensely at 2,200 RPM. Every one of the 316 driven 295 pound-feet of torque channel through a smooth-moving 8-speed programmed, which is apparently dependably in the correct rigging at the opportune time. You can play with the or shifters, however the transmission is able all alone. Pop it into dynamic mode and the S60 hardens up. The controlling gets some truly necessary extra hum, the throttle is increasingly responsive, and the gearbox moves a pinch snappier than in standard mode. Indeed, even in its most aggro setting, however, the S60 is as yet a manageable car. That is the place the Polestar engineered model comes in. Purchasers in the market for a S60 with everything on the side can buy into owning the S60 Polestar engineered. Each of the 20 of the 2019 model year Polestar engineered vehicles are represented, however. It's the most sizzling S60 on offer and tosses a large portion of the vehicle's Swedish reasonableness out the window. It resembles going out to watch a Mission Impossible motion picture, two engaging autos, two altogether different applications. The Polestar engineered model separates itself mechanically with Volvo's T8 module crossbreed powertrain. This combo belts out 416 horsepower and 494 pounds-to-foot of torque. There's a recognizable contrast in off-the-line speed over the R-design display. Torque from the electric engine kicks in quickly, however the 2.0-liter motor isn't a long ways behind in its yield. Power is diverted through a similar 8-speed gearbox found on the R-design display which, by and by, ends up being an extremely able advertising. Despite the fact that the Polestar Demonstrate is punchier, it has its deficiencies. Volvo didn't give a correct weight figure. In any case, at almost 4,000 pounds, it's a flat-out unit. The trim-selective Öhlins dampers do their best to tame the floating body in tight corners, yet regardless it rolls too forcefully. The R design is unquestionably the more agile of the two. And afterward there are the brakes. The gigantic gold Brembos and standard regenerative slowing mechanism are disappointing as damnation. Foot off the gas, and the regenerative slowing mechanism kicks on promptly. However, a level of additional weight on the brake pedal and the huge Brembos shock the vehicle to a stop, even in typical rush hour gridlock circumstances. There is some relief, however. The S60 Polestar engineered can drive up to 21 miles on battery control alone, which is amazingly fulfilling. What's more, the progress between unadulterated EV and fuel-electric crossover is consistent. Generally, I couldn't tell whether the motor was even on. With all its lively ramifications, the S60 is as yet a truly agreeable vehicle. The S60's lodges a style control in Swedish moderation. You won't discover in excess of 10 catches anyplace. Nearly everything is controlled through the standard, representation arranged 9-inch touchscreen, named Sensus Connect by Volvo. A couple of additional catches would do the S60 equity. Do we truly need to burrow through numerous screens to alter the fan speed? The updated Sensus Connect is quite easy to utilize something else, and offers a pack of valuable highlights. A spotless, 4-tile format application sheet welcomes you when you enter. Every one of the 4 of those tiles are configurable, incidentally, with the capacity to swap between route, telephone, media, and a couple of outsider applications like Spotify, Pandora, Yelp and a couple of others. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi network all come standard. Purchasers in the state of mind for a redesigned or lower deal can pay additional for either a Harman Kardon sound framework or the range-topping Bowers and Wilkins setup. ABBA sounds particularly great on the last mentioned. Volvo's inside creators completed a great occupation of keeping the moderate subject predictable. The level dash, canvassed in dark cowhide and cream-hued complements sewing shapes flawlessly into the focal group. The main gleaming pieces are the air vent and compasses. Everything else is delicate to the touch, and even the seats are awesome. The truth is out, the seats. They gave the ideal measure of reinforcing and knee bolster for my thin 6-foot outline following a couple of hours out about, regardless of whether they were somewhat firm for my preferences. The Volvo S60 is currently more secure than at any other time. Programmed crisis braking, forward impact cautioning, and cross-traffic alert with programmed braking all come standard on the car out of the blue. Approaching traffic alert with brake help is a shiny new component that applies additional braking in the event that it detects approaching traffic in your path. Fortunately, we didn't need to utilize it. Vulnerable side checking and path takeoff cautioning are likewise discretionary. The pearl here, however, is pilot assist. Volvo's semi-self-ruling driving programming never wavered on the expressway, with the radar journey control proactively braking and including power when fundamental, and a path-keeping framework keeping the vehicle flawlessly focused consistently. In LA's merciless unpredictable rush hour gridlock, pilot assist unquestionably lightens some pressure. The S60 is the most total Volvo item to date. It's great-looking, tech-centered, and drives especially well, regardless of whether you disregard a portion of the undeniable execution imperfections of the Polestar engineered model. The R design is the sweet spot, as it mixes execution and solace into a consistent bundle, without being too preposterous in its styling. It's likewise moderately reasonable. At $41,900, the S60 R design doesn't direction a tremendous premium over the $35,800 base model. On the off chance that you need all-wheel drive, it will set you back $4,500 and convey the aggregate up to $46,400. The Polestar engineered is somewhat unique, however. You can't really get one of the 20 right now on offer, as Volvo offers it solely through their Care by Volvo membership benefit at an expense of $1,100 every month.